What's up, Steeler family? Wow. Some news that I just read. Holy moly. And like my man Nori would say, guacamole. Holy moly, guacamole. We're going to get into it. But what's up, folks? Welcome to the Terrible Towel pregame show. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, live from the Steel Basement, a.k.a. Virtual Heinz Field. And let's talk about the elephant in the room. I'm going to just talk about it, but then I'm going to bring it home at the end. In case you don't know, Ben Roethlisberger will not be playing tomorrow. Holy moly, guacamole. All right, we're going to get into it. This is going to be a quick show. Quick show, guys. You know, the pregame is intended to be quick. Let's say what's up to the early commenters. I'm going to get in and get out with my stuff, give you my keys to victory. Definitely now, since there's no Ben Roethlisberger. And then we're out of here, and I'll spend a little bit of time with you guys in the chat. What's up to Mugger Town? Lumberzack 94, Rajan 39. Hello, Miss Lanisha. How you doing this evening? Hope you are well. Hope you're doing well. Real Facts in the building. Lee Potty or Patey. Billy Smith, Cody, Daredevil, Vista Light, Wide Diggy. Hello, Miss The Real Missy. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate that, Miss Lady. Dylan Snyder, Ali Howard. Who else? Deron Smith. A Money. I like that name. Alex Dingy. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And who else is up in here? Yup, is in here. Hello, Miss Sade. How you doing this evening? Thank you for coming through as well. Thank you. All right, guys. We have to talk about it. But like I said, I'm going to save that for the end because this is not intended to be a very long show here tonight. But let's get to it, man. Hold on. I got people texting me about the Ben Roethlisberger news. All right. So, first and foremost, the first thing I have here on the agenda. Let me get to my notations here. Give me a second. Good folks, good people. Let me get to my notations here. First thing we're going to talk about, man, is let's talk a little bit about the injury report so far as what we know. Right now, as of Friday, doesn't matter in regards to Ben Roethlisberger, so we can just take his name on out of there because he's not playing, but for another reason. But anyway, Chase Claypool did not practice on yesterday, and we already know his status is ruled out for tomorrow. He has a situation with his toe. They did get the news back earlier this week saying it's not as bad as they thought it was, so he will be back, but he won't be able to play tomorrow. Eric Ebron was a full participant. Robert Spillane was a full participant. Isaiah Buggs, full participant. Cam Hayward was a full participant. Najee Harris, full participant, as well as Kendrick Green. And guys, you know that these guys popped up on the injury report. And I definitely want to highlight Najee. The reason why I have him in the thumbnail there with Pat Fryermuth, because those guys really going to have to lead the way even more now. You know, tight end is the best friend of a backup quarterback. And Najee Harris can definitely be the best friend of a backup quarterback. But yeah, we'll get to that in a moment because that's going to really be the meat and potatoes of this show here now tonight. But anyway, as of right now, the two people that we know that will not be playing tomorrow is one, Chase Claypool, and then also Ben Roethlisberger. Guys, they're saying that Ben Roethlisberger was put on the COVID-19 list. Whether that means he has it or not, we don't know. Either he has COVID or he was in close proximity to somebody else who has COVID. But here's the interesting thing. How far does this go in the locker room? Is there anybody else? You know, is there another quarterback? Is the center, Najee, any of these people that are on offense? So we really got to keep our eyes open on this one and see what's going to happen. Moving on, guys. What I'm also want to get into here really quick, and like I said, we're gonna jump right into this thing, man. Let's talk about Steven Sims. Steven Sims is elevated to the 53-man roster. You guys know he was the receiver that we have had on the roster for a while. I think he was with Buffalo at one time. He's been on the practice squad for a while. Obviously, we had to elevate someone since Claypool won't be playing. So, this gives this guy an opportunity, man. Maybe he gets a shot. I think we're more than likely going to see, a good amount of Deontay Johnson, obviously, a good amount of James Washington, obviously. And you can probably expect you're going to see a lot of Ray McCloud, but I think there will be a mix between McCloud and Sims. And probably Cody White as well. Cody White is going to be another guy I think that's going to see some time because, again, you got to remember, Cody White was probably one of the first ones activated as far as the backup receivers. He's played in a couple games. So you're probably going to see a good mix of McCloud, White, and perhaps Steven Sims. We'll see. It might just be McCloud and Kobe White, depending on what type of offenses we're throwing out there. But it's worth mentioning. We also have the Miller kid. Obviously he wasn't activated, so I'm guessing he's still on the practice squad. But there's some news for you there in case you didn't know that. Now let's talk about the keys to victory. Because like I said, guys, this is very, very quick show. As you can see, I'm moving through it. Listen, man, with Ben Roethlisberger not playing, holy moly. That's all I can say. This is breaking news. You know what? I got to take a sip of water, man. Because it hit me as I was pressing start on this stream. Man, this is interesting, man. Let me see who all else is up in here now. Some of you guys may have come in a little later. This is absolutely crazy. Yeah. Crazy. Look, my wife, let's show you what type of wife she is. She's texting me right now saying, Ben is out. In case I didn't know, she's giving me the information. Man, this is going to be a doozy, folks. And here's why it's so interesting, right? For so many different ways, this is going to be interesting. Obviously, your starting quarterback is out. Okay, obvious challenge. But the Steelers are in a position now where they can potentially be first in the AFC North. Hence what the title says of this video. Because the Ravens, and let's talk about the Ravens really quick. I'm telling you, man, and you guys have been telling me this, and I think we all agree. There's no team running away with this thing in the AFC. Again, I think the Ravens look like, well, before Thursday, they looked like the better team. Perhaps maybe they were becoming the better team in the AFC North. We once talked about Cincinnati. I thought Cincinnati looked really good, based on how Cincinnati was able to play Baltimore, how they did against them, the points they put up on Baltimore. They obviously beat us. They beat some other teams. Cleveland came back and beat them. And now Cincinnati has lost a couple games in a row, so they don't look as strong as they once did. I said the Baltimore Ravens would still be that team that you're going to have to worry about down the stretch. They come out the week after that, they win that game, right? And they're sitting at 6-2, and you're thinking going into Thursday playing against the Dolphins, who were 2-7, that the Ravens, you would think they would take care of business. But what do I always tell you guys? Do I not always say it's any given Sunday? In the NFL, I'm one who personally believes there's no easy win. In the NFL, I'm one who personally believes records don't mean anything. In the NFL, I am one who consistently says matchups. Okay? It's all about the matchups. Styles make fights. It's the same thing they say, obviously, in boxing. It doesn't matter sometimes. I know it's easy to say, hey, this team is 1 and such and such. Hey, this team is 2 and such and such. Hey, this team has no win. And it's easy for you to fall in the trap and say, oh, man, we should blow that team out. Yeah, but there's really no such thing as that. Now, sometimes you have these teams that are super powerful that just blow the doors off of teams that on paper they should beat. But sometimes it ain't like that. And that's why I've never been one of those people who fed into the narrative, oh, man, the Steelers always struggle against sub 500 or under 500 teams. But again, we saw this with both Cowher and Tomlin. And honestly, I don't think it has much to do with the coach itself. I think it's the NFL. Because again, some of y'all might not believe in me, but I always say this, right? Don't I always say, I do not believe in the narrative of coach didn't have his team ready to play from any team. I know it's an easy narrative that media feeds into. Oh, these guys weren't ready to play. And I think to me, I think it's not a real statement. I think even when I say that, I don't literally mean it. It's almost like a rhetorical statement, if that's even a thing, right? When I say that, I'm not literally saying, oh, Bill Belichick didn't have his team ready to play, or, oh man, Pete Carroll didn't have them ready to play, Mike Tomlin didn't have them ready. I don't believe that. I don't believe there's no NFL coach, in my opinion, that I think goes into the week and they're gonna take some off the gas because this opponent is coming up. I just don't believe that. And I know, again, I'm not saying that some of you guys shouldn't. I just don't. I don't believe that exists, right? So, but since I don't believe that exists, it to me, because the Ravens lost to a 2-7 Dolphins, it don't mean John Harbaugh didn't have them to play. It just means the Dolphins played out of their mind. They had a great game plan. And it goes to show you that the worst team could beat the best team. It is literally any given Sunday. That's why I tell us, man, as Steelers fans, don't be in your feelings so much. That's why I told you guys Tuesday, it'd be crazy if we messed around and lost this game, because Detroit is hungry. They ain't got no wins. They're going to give their best effort. Detroit has been in quite a few games that they've lost. Detroit should have beat the Ravens. I'm just saying, with an offense of the Pittsburgh Steelers that isn't that potent, now you would expect it really not to be without Ben. I'm just saying, I don't want to hear it. If they lose, I don't want to hear it. It happens. So, yeah, I never would have thought the Ravens would have lost that. And I know I'm going off the track a little bit, but wow. And it's crazy, man. There was some notes that came out that said, the Dolphins showed a zero coverage 40 times. Like, they straight up showed zero. No safety in the middle of the field. And they just outplayed the Ravens. I mean, I couldn't believe the type of defensive effort they was putting out there. Shut down the Ravens offense. It was crazy to watch. But hey, I was excited by it because it showed that, okay, here's a method. Here's how you can attack the Ravens. But then also I was feeling like, okay, a team in the Steelers who started 1-3 has an opportunity now to be first place. How? And now we are faced with a dilemma, folks. Again, in case you didn't hear it earlier, Ben Roethlisberger will be out tomorrow. He is unable to play. It's breaking news because of COVID. He's on the COVID list. Again, I don't know if he has COVID or if he came in close proximity with someone who did, but all I know is he will not be quarterbacking the Pittsburgh Steelers. And in that case, what are the keys to victory now? Wow. Well, first of all, I would like to know who is going to be the quarterback. I'm assuming it's going to be Mason Rudolph. I know some people are saying Dwayne Haskins, but guys, if you know the team, go with your gut. What do you think the team is going to do? I'm thinking Mason Rudolph. This is what we're going to have to do, man. We're going to have to try to play the possession game. I'm not expecting the Steelers are going to score a lot of points. Like I said, we haven't been a potent offense even with Ben. So I'm not expecting that. But I'm expecting that we could possibly be a ball control, type of offense, right? Sorry, guys. Something looked weird to me for a second. I had to look up. It looked like one of my little sound, I forget what you call them now. The things that I can't even remember the name of them, but basically is the things that I have that absorb sound or what have you. Why I can't think of the name of these things is beyond me, but it looks like one of them had failed. But sorry about that. But listen, the Steelers hadn't been a potent offense, right? So now I'm not expecting that they're going to become this potent offense tomorrow without Ben Roethlisberger. But you're going to have to try to play the time of possession game, run the football if you can, and just make it a long, drawn-out game. That way where the clock is ticking and we play tough defense and we get points when we can get them. I think that's what you do. Here's the catch, though, man. If you're looking at the stats right now, the Detroit Lions are actually sitting at, and I just looked at it, they're sitting at number 9. They're sitting at number 9 against the pass, right? Number 9, as far as yards. I'm only looking at yards allowed. However, they're 24th in terms of yards allowed against the run. So maybe we can establish the run. However, Najee Harris was on the injury list, dealing with something with his ankle. He did practice full yesterday, but, it says foot. So, I don't want to overexert him either. And I really want to start backing off of him a little bit anyway, man, because I just don't want to run him into the ground. So it's going to be interesting, man, because now you don't have the change of pace in a Ben Roethlisberger, right? If you're defensive coordinator, in your mind, you're thinking, the Steelers are going to run. They might not put it in the air that much with the backup guy. So it will be interesting to see how Matt Canada calls this game. Now, where it could be an advantage with Mason Rudolph, perhaps, is he's going to take some shots. I think Mason Rudolph will take shots and push the ball downfield. So it's a toss-up. Like I said, they're number 9 against the pass. They don't play the worst defense. So this could be very interesting. And guys, because they're 0-8 means nothing. They coming off a bye. They've had more rest than the Pittsburgh Steelers. And like I said, I know y'all going to lose your mind. And when I say y'all, I'm talking about anybody involved. Will lose their mind if the Steelers lose tomorrow, even with Ben being out. But I'm just saying, it's a possibility every week. Now it's really strange. Do I think we're talented enough to be able to still win? I do, even with the backup quarterback. I do think if we can get our run game going, like it has been going the last few weeks, I think, again, we can make it one of those type of games, drawn out game, just methodically moving the ball downfield, taking a few shots here and there with Rudolph, and even, Pat Freiermuth. I think Freiermuth is going to be a factor again because, you have a backup quarterback. That's your security blanket. So I think we have well enough defense to combat whatever Detroit is going to do. Jared Goff doesn't really scare me at all. Not saying that he doesn't have any type of talent, and not saying that the Lions don't have some type of talent offensively, but I'm not too concerned about what they're going to do in terms of offense. I think our defense can at least keep a lid on it. I think we can keep the score relatively low. It just comes down to us, man. Will we be able to possess the football? Will we be able to sustain drives? That is going to be key and important for the backup quarterback. I say because I don't know who it's going to be. I'm leaning Mason Rudolph. But we have to find a way to sustain drives, and we cannot get behind the chains with the backup. We can't kill ourselves and shoot ourselves in the foot with offensive penalties. We need to sustain drives, win on first down, so the rest of the downs are more manageable. And I think it could be one of those long, drawn-out, tough, gritty games without your starting quarterback. So those are my keys to victory, man. But this is some interesting news. Again, once again, before I go to the comments really quick, Ben Roethlisberger will not be playing tomorrow because of him being on the COVID-19 list. So yowza. And what's very interesting, this doesn't just affect this week. If it's determined that he's on the 10-day list, he might not be playing next week either. So this is coming at the wrong time. Man, I look mighty bright right here. Almost look like a red bone in here. All right, man, let me see what y'all got. Thanks for the donation there. Let me ring a round of applause to you, Sport 8. Round of applause. Appreciate the donation, and I will read your comments. Hey, Miss Debbie, how you doing? Welcome, Miss Debbie. I'm glad you are here. Good to see you. Yes, Najee will be playing. But Sport 8 says, If Mason balls out, opens the field up, and makes it look easy, should we consider keeping him as a starter? Well, that's a loaded question. Only the reason why I say that is because the question is, would the Steelers keep him as a starter, even if he balls out? Probably not, because, again, there's no way you're not going to play Ben Roethlisberger, especially now when we're in a winning situation. It was talk about that when we were losing, right? 1-3. And Ben was just not looking like Ben. He was showing his age, so to speak. But now that the Steelers have gone on this win streak, they're not pulling Ben Roethlisberger for Mason Rudolph, regardless of how good he looks. What it's going to do is it's going to make them comfortable in the fact that we have Mason Rudolph and comfortable in the decision that they made to extend him for 2 years, being that he's probably going into the season next year as the starter. So I think that's worst case scenario. That happens. I don't think you don't put Ben Roethlisberger back in the game. But I understand your point, though. So I don't disagree with what you're saying, but from a Steelers standpoint, I don't think they do that. Brent Fox says, well, this should now, and he put should now in bold letters, reinforce the fact that we need to be fundamentally sound. We will have to run and use easy-to-read passing concepts, double slants, quick outs, flood passes, etc. Yeah, man, this is definitely going to, this is going to be a test, man. And you know what's interesting, Brent? What if we see some different quarterback play, like as far as types of plays with one of these guys in there rather than Ben Roethlisberger? That would be interesting. I'm going to keep my eye on that. To see if we see anything cute, out of Matt Canada, something he might be doing with those guys that he can't necessarily do with Ben. So that'll be interesting to see. Yup says, what do you think the Steelers will change offensively with Ben out? Well, I'm not sure, but it kind of goes on to what I just said. I think we might see more play action. I think we might see more boots. I think that's very possible. I don't know if we'll see more RPOs, maybe. But, yeah, I think if anything, I think we're going to see more play action and more boots with Ben Roethlisberger not in the lineup. And you might even see more under the center play. So that's what I'm anticipating. Real Fact says, where's the energy? The bench Ben crowd should be happy. I remember those people when we were 1-3. You know what, Real Facts? I'm going to give you a round of applause for that one, brother. You know what we call those people, Real? Well, it's the same name as footwear for some people. I call them the flip-flop fans. That's how they do. Man. It's their result bias. It's crazy. But I'm right there with you. Gene Carlos Burgos says, defense has gonna have to bring it tomorrow and not pull back in the second half. Yeah, man. But to be honest with you, John Carlos, I don't know if it's as much as pull back as it is offense not sustaining drives. You know what I'm saying? Because, not to get it twisted, I'm not blaming the offense entirely, because some of that stuff I saw in the All-22, and you guys, that saw that, the private content, y'all saw it too. Some of the stuff that was going on in the zone play, you can't put that on the offense. But I do believe there's a such thing of a defense wearing down as the game goes on. And our defense always seems to play well early, and then around late third quarter, fourth quarter is when they start waning a little bit. And like I said, a sustainable offense can help out, take one or maybe 2 or 3 of those drives away, those possessions. But I see your point, though. So I don't disagree, but I'm just saying I think a lot of that, too, also depends on what we're doing offensively, man, because this could be a game, and I hope not. This could be a game where we ain't converting no first downs, and we just keep putting the defense back on the field. And what do you do in that situation? You know what I mean? What else we got? Charlie Brown says, do you even think we throw a lot, rain, snow in the forecast for the game time? That's another thing. It's cold. Y'all see what I got on? I got a hoodie on, man. Shout outs to Nike. Only reason why I say that, man, is I don't know. I just always find myself gravitating to Nike hoodies for some reason. But it's cold. Even where I am here in Pennsylvania right now, it's 40. Let me see. It's 43 degrees. The wife and I, we just came back in the house, did a little Saturday night hanging out, Saturday day hanging out, shopping and stuff like that. 39 degrees here. So in Pittsburgh, actually, let me take a look at that, because usually I pull up the forecast, let you guys know what's shaking. Give me a second. So tomorrow in Pittsburgh, it is, okay, they changed this app up on me a little bit. I can't find where I would add another city. Oh, here we go. Let's see, guys. Let me give y'all the forecast. Yeah, right now in Pittsburgh, 40 degrees. Tomorrow, rain, snow, 34 degrees, between 34 and 40. So, yeah, and it's a 90% chance of that, the precipitation. So, maybe we don't. Maybe we're handing the ball off a lot. And listen, I'm not mad at that. But we better be prepared to defend that as well, from Detroit. And I don't know how good or bad they run the ball, but I know they got my man Swift is over there, so we just got to be careful with that as well. And you might be right. We might be keeping that thing on the ground way more than throwing it in the air. Sean Manahan says 6-3. Here we go. All right, I like that. Put that in the air, and that would be great, man. If we do win this game, like I said, we will temporarily be, and you got to be honest and just say temporarily. We'll temporarily be sitting at first in the AFC North, so that would be sweet if we can get that done. The Real Missy says, we played golf with Mason, and golf had a better supporting cast. Yeah, that is a fact. And we won. Y'all, I remember that game. We won. What was it, like 17-12? Wasn't that the game? It was a weird score. And that was a game that we won, and I definitely didn't call us winning that. Few Late Night says, all I know is Steelers better not lose to the Lions, but somehow can beat the Chargers. Man, listen, like I said, I'm not going to tell anybody how to feel, but listen, I don't go into it with that approach. I go into it with the approach that the team can lose every week. It don't matter who it is. I know that Lions ain't won a game, but does that make them more dangerous or not? Excuse me. Remember, the Lions have been in a lot of these games. So like I said, a few late nights, I'm not telling you to change your mind. That's your opinion. I wholeheartedly respect it. I'm just saying I don't approach it like that, man. I literally approach it each Sunday. You can lose. Because remember last year when everybody got on me when we were 11-0, and I said, man, I don't think we're going to beat Washington. Y'all remember that? Don't y'all remember that? Everybody was getting on me about that. And look what happened. So, I don't know, man. I definitely hope we win it. Boom Beat 46 says, I'm a Lions fan and we are the weirdest 0-8 team. I'm with you, brother. Listen, man, my good buddy Smitty is a Lions fan, and, we talk about it every Thursday on the other podcast. Look, y'all been in these games, man. Y'all had the Ravens. The only thing I get on the Lions about in that game is how do you give up a 4th and 19? How? In that situation, Justin Tucker should have never been able to attempt a 66-yard field goal that still took a little bit of luck on top of his skill for it to fall in. That should have never happened. There's no way you give up a 4th and 19 in that situation. But y'all was in that game. You see what I'm saying? Like, the Lions is not like this. Listen, I'm not going to convince people who think otherwise, but they're not this god-awful team, in my opinion, if you watch them play. Sean Manahan says, Jags beat the Bills. Finns beat the Ratbirds. Ratbirds. A win is a win. Winning ugly is as good as winning pretty. Just win, baby. Yeah. But, I think your larger point there, dog, upsets happen. And I know it's going to sting, guys, if it were to happen to an 0-8 team. I understand y'all ain't going to be able to accept it, but I will stomach it a little more because I'm always under the impression that it's any given Sunday. Now, technically, should we lose? I don't think so, but let me tell y'all something. We just introduced a different variable. There's no Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, some people that hate Ben and all of that will say good. I don't think y'all realize how big of a deal this is. No Ben Roethlisberger, no Chase Claypool. Obviously, no Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm just saying, man. This is lining up for an upset. But I think we have enough talent to still win the game. But I'm just saying, don't be fooled. My good brother Tony says a lot of upsets this year. Miami beat the Ravens. Rams got slapped around. Denver slapped Dallas around. Atlanta beat the Saints. And the Jag beat the Bills. Yeah. So what makes the Steelers any differently? That's all I'm saying, Steelers fans. We are too biased sometimes. And we are too emotional when it comes to the Steelers. And we don't sometimes realize reality happens sometimes. You're going to lose some of these games. And sometimes it's going to be a team that you should not lose to. That's just how it goes. And it has happened to a multitude of teams. It's happened to this season. So that's all I'm saying. But I'm with you guys, man. And you know daggone well, man, they, like my man here just said, they're gonna stack that box. They're gonna force Mason Rudolph to beat them. All right, last one here, guys, and I'm going to get out of here. Hunter Johnson says, I'm worried about Mason. We've had no time to prepare for this game with him. This is literally last second. I'm going to give you one of these, brother. Let me tell you something, Hunter. I could not say that even any better than you just did. So I'm not even going to repeat it. Exactly, brother. That's all I'm going to say. Exactly. I will read one last one. You know, we can't not read Debbie's comment, right? One of the ladies speak up. Deb says, the Ben haters got their wish. Please have the same energy, Steelers, if we lose. If the Steelers lose. We keep receipts here, and she got them eyes on y'all like this. Hey, Debbie, that is a super fact. And y'all, listen, all I ask you guys to do, man, as fans, is just stand on it. What I've been saying all year. It's time for Ben Roethlisberger to go. I've been saying that, right? But I've also said, we can still win with Ben. Don't get it twisted if we're able to move the football, run the football. Ben's still going to make you throws here and there. He's still going to do that. He's going to throw some interceptions too, because he's almost thrown quite a few this year. But I've been repeatedly saying if Ben does not throw the ball 40 or more times, the Steelers' percentage of winning goes up. But I do think this is his last season. But unlike me and keeping the same energy consistently even while winning, some of y'all have, we keep receipts. I've seen some of the people in this chat tear that man down when we were losing. Remember? Tear him down. If we lose and Rudolph looks bad, all right, keep the same energy. I'd rather you just say, look, man, I still don't like Ben, and I don't like him, Rudolph either. But don't switch up. Don't switch up. But all right, man, I'm going to get out of here. Listen, this is going to be an interesting post-game show tomorrow, man. Hopefully we're talking about how Mason Rudolph or Dwayne Haskins, again, I think it's going to be Rudolph. Hopefully we're talking about how he went out there and did what he had to do and, you know, showed why he's a valid number 2 or what have you and wins the game for us. Maybe we're talking about a Najee Harris 200-yard rushing game. I don't know. Maybe we're talking about TJ Watt with 4 sacks again. 2 of them was forced fumbles. 1 of them was a scoop and score. Maybe we're talking about a Minkah Fitzpatrick pick 6 or something. You know what I mean? Who knows? But I think it's going to have to be something like that in order for us to win this game now. And I don't care that it's the 0-8 Lions. Again, I've watched some of the Lions games. They've played hard. And this is a perfect opportunity for them to play as hard in search of a win against a Pittsburgh Steelers team that does not have their starting quarterback behind center. We better be ready to play. That's all. So, but all right, man, we're going to sign off. Hope you guys have a great evening. Hope you enjoy the rest of the night. Woo, I think that fight is tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all already know. I'm watching that. I think that fight is tonight. I think ain't it tonight? The Crawford and Sean Porter fight? That's tonight, right? Or am I bugging? I think it's tonight. But anyway, you guys stay blessed, stay safe, enjoy your night, and I will definitely see you guys tomorrow for the Terrible Town post-game show. Until then, catch y'all later. Peace. By the way, I'm still here. Yeah, you guys said next Saturday. That's right. Next Saturday. I couldn't remember if it was the night of next Saturday, but all right, guys, gone for real this time. Peace.